Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this, maybe you have liked some of my other content I've shared, or maybe you're following me on Facebook. So this video is a little bit different. I'm focusing more on food, on meal prepping. I've posted a couple of things on my Facebook page and I got feedback about following what I'm doing. So that's what I am doing. So I am going to be sharing my meal plan that I've created for myself, my meal prep plan of things that I will be making ahead and either freezing or keeping in the fridge for easier access. Some things that I've already done is I have started to clean out my fridge. I have to start with a clean fridge. I have taken inventory of like my containers that I'm going to store food in. And I've just been researching and just kind of going back into the mindset of what I need to do to make this successful. Because if I don't prepare and I don't plan ahead, I am going to fail. So one thing that was shared with me is just putting your fruits in a container in a glass jar. I made this more complicated in my head than it needed to be. I always washed them, dried them, and then put them in here, which for me became such a long process. And as a neurodivergent person, it really just stopped me from moving forward. So these are not washed. There is a little condensation in here, but I've already successfully, my kids are home. I've already successfully had strawberries in this jar for over a week, and they didn't mold. They didn't get didn't get overripe or anything like that. So I've started like saving my sauce jars. I know this one still has like the label because I've just not taken the time to do it, but like I plan on just putting these in individual jars like this, not only for myself but also for my kids. It's easy. They're not washed, and if you prefer to wash them and have them ready to go, feel free to do it. This is just what works for me in my home. Another thing is I always have to write down my plan, what I'm doing. So get yourself a notebook. This is like my handy notebook where I plan a lot of things. And I just kind of went into an open page and I just started putting together ideas. Things I've done in the past, things I've saved on my Pinterest board, things that I have tried before that I loved and I'm considering meal prepping. And then my plan of actual meals that I am going to make and freeze this week. This is my goal to do it. Maybe I'll take one from each category. I have breakfast, lunch, and snacks because those are the harder meals for me. And then at the bottom, I just started a grocery list of the things that I need to make these successful that I don't already have at home. So this kind of starts my grocery list for the week. My grocery day right now, it's kind of tossed in the air. We started homeschooling, so my schedule is all over the place. We're just trying to, we're not winging it, but we kind of are as far as like life itself. Things just happen when they happen, and we're okay with that. We're just going with the flow. So what you're going to see after this will be me getting ready to actually make some of these meals. And I'm going to share with you in the description box the things that I'm using. For example, the containers that I purchased, I did share them on my social media, but if you don't follow, maybe you didn't see them. So I'm going to post them in the description box below. I'll also put down in the description box the meals that I am prepping in advance. And if I have a link to the recipes, I will link them for you. But if you have any questions or if there's anything else that you want me to drill on, feel free to leave a comment also below and let me know what you think. Some of the other videos on this channel actually originated when I did health and fitness online years and years ago, and I would share a lot of my recipes and things like that. I don't do that anymore, like for a living, but it's still something that has stuck with me, right? And I'm doing this for my health. As we get older, our body needs change. I definitely have vitamin deficiencies, which affect me. So I am hoping that, this video helps some other people as well, because we could all use it, right? We could all use the help. So I hope you like this video. If you like it, feel free to hit the like button below. always subscribe so that you can get future videos. And if you really like the content, let me know and please share it with friends. All right, first things first, you need to make sure that you have plenty of containers. So no matter what you think you're going to meal prep, you may meal prep more than you intend, so you want to be prepared. These containers that I am unboxing are from Amazon. I will put the link in the description box for you if you are interested in purchasing them. So I really love these because they have an airtight seal. It's right here. You are able to remove it. It is a little hard because obviously they're new, but you can remove them, for washing. And I love it also because it has multiple sizes. There's 3 different shapes. So one looks more like a rectangle, and then there's a square shape, and then you have a circle one. And each shape has 3 different sizes. So no matter what you're meal prepping, you are good to go. They also have this lip around the containers, which I really, really like. It helps the lid seal tight onto the container. So again, we don't spoil any of our foods, or, you don't want air getting in there, because then that means that it'll spoil sooner, especially if protein balls is something that I use these containers a lot. They'll dry out a lot faster. Now these were packaged so well. As you can see, there are a lot of wrapping on them. Each container has a little clear plastic wrap that needs to be removed on top, and then there is another one on the inside. And then they were packaged in between styrofoam to keep them safe in transport. So they all made it to me without any cracks, without any shattering, nothing like that. And then they even included a user manual, which I've never seen with containers, but it tells you how to take care of the containers so that they don't get damaged, and ways to help you prolong their life. I'm so excited to use these. I cannot wait to start making some meals and just put them in here. It doesn't really matter what you're planning to meal prep. You can use them for snacks, any side dishes, for bigger meals. You can use them for leftovers. You're gonna see I will be prepping some protein balls, some muffin egg cups, and some overnight oats. Instead of using individual glass jars for the overnight oats, I am actually doing a bigger portion. And then that way I can just scoop it out in the morning and do it that way instead of individual sizes. I've never actually done it that way, but I found it a lot easier to just do one larger one instead of just individual ones. Now this is the color gray. They have different options as well, so check out the link in the description box. One thing that I did wanted to make sure was how I was going to store these, reducing space. So I don't like my containers taking too much space. The downside is that they do not stack inside of each other with the lids closed, but I did find that the smaller container in each shape will fit upside down in each container. It's very odd, but it does save space, so you know what? That works for me. Alright, so these are pretty simple. You just take however many eggs you want. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do just these 4. Okay, I like it. I feel like the milk helps fluff it up. Okay. And then the seasonings of your choice. So for me, that is parsley, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then I've been using adobo. I'm Spanish, guys. This is really hard to get rid of in my house. Yeah, I try not to put too much, but you can season your stuff the way you want to, the way you like it. So there we go. I just like the flavors of the onion and garlic powder together. Really feel like it really accentuates my eggs. Okay, so there's nothing really too crazy about this. We're gonna stir these. I have some red onions already chopped up, or cut up, I should say. So I'm just gonna toss these in here. Not too much, not too crazy. Beat all of this. I like to turn my bowl. I don't know, I feel like it helps me blend everything in better. I am gonna add some turkey to this. So this is from Aldi, honey turkey breast. I am just going to chop up the turkey. All right, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Yes, you can hear, I'm sure, my kids in the back. Like I said in my social media, we started homeschooling a couple of weeks back, and we're still really figuring out the best schedule for us. But so far it's been really great. There were different reasons for us to want to homeschool. I've actually been thinking about it for years and years, and you know, I don't know why I should have done it a lot sooner, but so this is done. Okay, you guys see that? Awesome. I'm gonna grab my muffin tin, and actually I didn't even preset my oven, so let's do that. Presetting oven. I'm gonna spray these with, it's not the healthiest, but it is what I have. And when you're starting out, you're gonna want to buy things because, you know, there's a lot of things out there that are better options than what we would be eating. So you literally sometimes just gotta choose to do what you can. I always make a mess with these, so I'm gonna use a ladle to scoop them up because yeah. So I'm done with that. I think that's how I did it last time. I can't remember. But these egg cups, I already overfilled that one. These egg cups are really good. You can use them to meal prep for work. Take them very quickly in the morning. You can just heat 2 of them up. I had been using them as like a filler for a bagel sandwich. I would toast the bagel and I would just make a sandwich out of it. So there's that. But yeah, you want about half. I really did pour too much in this one. So I'm just gonna scoop it up. There we go. And I always make a mess. I am not perfect. My oldest son is very athletic. He's very athletic, and he loves these. He loves these. So okay, so I'm getting ready now to make some overnight oats and some protein balls. Now I'm gonna put the recipe down in the description box because by no means am I following it. If you are neurodiverse, and I know that I mentioned this again, but my brain just doesn't process like everyone else's. So following recipes is really, really hard for me. And at this point, I'm just winging it. For the overnight oats, usually I like to put them in containers in 12 ounces mason jars, lid, put them in the fridge. These are from like peanut butter, Teddy's peanut butters that I have left. So usually I would do this. I'm trying a new recipe. It's cinnamon raisin overnight oats. I've never tried it, and because I am just starting out and just kind of getting back in the swing of things, I don't want to make too much of something. I don't want to commit. So I am going to just make some in this container, and I pretty much have ingredients all spread it out, but I am going to be using almond milk, okay, unsweetened. Unsweetened is better because it doesn't have the sugars, and sugar is really what affects your weight, and that's really what makes things a little bit harder and healthy, more addicting as well. So as sweeteners, I'm using honey. All honey is not created equal. As you can see, I'm almost running out here, and then I have more here, but you can also use maple syrup, which I need to grab. To my overnight oats, I'm also adding chia, flaxseed, and hemp seeds. This is actually from Amazon. 8 grams of fiber, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of omega-3s. So I'm going to be adding that just for extra nutrition. Vanilla extract, cinnamon, protein powder. This I won't do in my overnight oats, but I'll put them in the protein balls because it's protein. You can also add chocolate chips. These are dairy free. We try to be as dairy free as possible. We do have lactose intolerance in our home, so I keep these here, but my kids love them in oats. Obviously like muffins, cookies. You can put them in the protein balls actually. Those are really amazing. So I'm just going to start mixing things up, and again, reference the recipes below, and then if you want to wing it, go for it. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, oatmeal. You need oatmeal for both of these recipes. So there you go. Here we go. You need raisins, and you need peanut butter. Peanut butter, you want to read the ingredients, okay? You don't want added sugar on your peanut butter. This one does have sugar onto it. It's just, again, what I have on hand. I usually get the Teddy's brand all natural. But again, do with what you got, okay? And that's what we're doing right now. Maple syrup. You want real maple syrup, not Aunt Jemima maple syrup. So make sure you read 100% maple syrup, and hopefully you can see it when you look at the ingredients list. It should say pure maple syrup, okay? You don't want fillers. You don't want junk. This is what you need. I'm gonna dump this. I'd rather add to it if it's not sweet, but if it's too sweet, I can't take it out. So that is why I did that. And it calls for a 1/4 cup. So I'm kind of measuring, kind of not. We'll see. What else do I want in here? I got this and I got this. All right, I'm gonna throw some chocolate chips. Right? Not too crazy. Vanilla. Vanilla. And cinnamon. The recipe doesn't call for the almond milk, but I don't like dry foods. So I can always add more oats or more peanut butter or something like that to kind of thicken it up if it's too runny, but I don't expect it to be runny. So that was the reason for the milk. But it's not included. Again, do whatever feels good to you. Another disclaimer, I've already pretty much ruined this recipe because it called for cashew butter. I don't have cashew butter, I use peanut butter. Also, it's supposed to be like a cinnamon raisin cookie. I put chocolate chips in it, so again, it is what it is. All right, so. I am not a fan of using my hands to do pretty much nothing in the kitchen. The texture is just really weird to me. I definitely have sensory issues, but it is the best way to really get everything mixed in, because I did see some dry spots with the oatmeal and stuff, and I just want to make sure everything is incorporated there. So, and I'm making a huge mess as I usually do. So again, I just want to make sure everything is done really well. And yes, I washed my hands before I started. I am kind of like a lunatic about washing hands and stuff before actually anything, especially in the kitchen. Okay, so this feels really good. It's not really sticking in my fingers. I was kind of hoping to make some kind of like banana bread or something, but my bananas are just not quite ready for that. So I just didn't want to. And I also like working right next to my sink because I could just do this. And there it is. So I'm going to let this sit just for a little bit, just so like it can all just kind of like firm up a little bit. I don't want to handle it right now. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to work on my overnight oats. This is going to be at least 2 servings. So keep that in mind. This is not 1 serving. A lot of eating healthier and cleaner is also eating in moderation, and we tend to eat more than we need to. So this, again, 2 servings at least. So I have about a cup and a quarter, 1 1/4 cup and a quarter, whatever. So I'm gonna add the almond milk to this. We usually, in our home, we usually do lactate milk. Again, lactose intolerance. But I like the almond milk. I feel like it makes it really creamy, and it's something I've used before. You can definitely use soy milk. There's oat milk. I did not do very well on the almond milk, not the almond milk, the soy milk. So I've been using almond milk for a while when I've been meal prepping and eating healthier. So you're pretty much going to put the same amount of oats in here, maybe a little bit more. No matter what I put in here, I will always add more milk, just a tiny bit in the mornings. I like my oatmeal warm. So I will always add more before I put it in the microwave to heat up. You put, again, I'm going to link recipes below just for guidance, but you really put as much of these things as you want, like cinnamon and vanilla extract. You don't put as much, the more, you don't want to go crazy on the sweetener. Again, the sweetener is what we get addicted to. Sugar is a real problem. So you can use honey. I prefer pure maple syrup. I feel like it satisfies my body's need for sweetness. So I'm not going to put a lot either, and I'm not going to measure. I probably should, but I'm not. I top my oats with fresh fruit. So blueberries, strawberries, any berry is amazing. Even banana, chopped up bananas with like chocolate chips. Don't go crazy on the chocolate chips because it's really not. Okay. And then I'm going to add this superfood here. Okay, it is a superfood. So once you let it soak, you literally can't taste these. And here I'll show you guys what it looks like. I know it looks kind of weird. I hope you guys can see that. So there, I'm like spilling it. There's different colors here. But yeah. So I'm just gonna throw this in here. And I do it for the nutrition. We could always use more fiber and protein, I feel like. And with with our neurodiversity, a lot of these things our bodies are lacking because we tend to gravitate towards certain foods that give us that dopamine that we're searching for. So yeah. So life hack. So you want to let this sit overnight, okay? This will sit overnight, and when you come back to it in the morning, it is going to be creamer, and it's gonna be like all mixed in together. And you might find that this amount of milk is fine for you. I just have a texture preference. So yeah, so that's why I do what I do. But this is pretty much it. This is it. You just mix up what you want. There are different recipes, different flavors you can add. I'm gonna add more cinnamon. I really like cinnamon in my oats. I'm just gonna top it off, and I'm gonna cover this, and then we're gonna start forming some balls. So again, I'm gonna cover this. These are the new containers I got. So far, I mean, this is the first time I use them, but I love them. They snap. Is this one not snapping? If it doesn't snap, I guess you're supposed to like rotate it. Bingo. So yeah, so that's what, and it has a little seal for air tightness. So I love that. Now let's make some of these. Some people do this different, right? So some people will just do the main ingredients and then kind of like roll them in the raisins or the chocolate chips like after they've been formed. You can also do like shredded coconut and stuff. I just mix everything together, but again, preference. And then you're just gonna take, I should measure these, but I'm not going to. And then you just form a little ball. And then you wanna like flash freeze these, okay? So, just so you guys can see, this might be a little big, but it's a protein ball, and you can see like the butter and stuff in there, right? Okay. And these can be snacks, pre-workout, post-workout. These are good for kids. I would not give this to my baby, and I actually have to make sure I put a note on here because I added honey and he's not one yet. So, don't want to forget about that. So I hope I can fit these in this container. Bingo. So it is really, really good to have snacks and meals like this already prepped, because you never really know when you're going to have an off day. Literally, you could be full of energy in the morning, like when you wake up, and then like 2 hours in, like you're done, like you can't function. So these are really great. I love it. I started doing meal planning and meal prepping when I was working like 50 hours a week at one point, and I was not getting any proper meals at all. Like my meals, my lunches and stuff consisted of like chips and granola bars and anything that I could just pick and grab. And that wasn't good. And I kept noticing that my body was just really changing. And yeah, I decided to make a change. And I started a workout program and a nutrition plan that was 21 days. And maybe some of you guys have heard it. Some of you guys may have stuck around through that journey. So maybe you guys have stuck around with me since then, but it has definitely been a roller coaster. I have had, 2 pregnancies and 2 children since all of that. So yeah, so things have changed, but I always find myself to come back to that, right? They say that it takes 21 days to develop a habit. I don't necessarily do it for the physical aspect of it, although I find that that's always a bonus. Really, I notice my body being affected and my joints hurting, and not being able to keep up with my children's an issue. It's a problem. So that's always been my why. And I've always reverted back kind of to like that meal plan that I worked on. And it doesn't take out any food groups, right? Like a lot of these diets and fad diets, they have you remove like no carbs. I can't do that. I can't do that. Anytime that anyone tells me I can't have anything, I want it more. So I won't do that to myself. Even on the meal plan, you can have like wine and stuff, which I was really big on wine. Not lately, not really. I'll have it here and there if I really want to, but it's not like an every weekend ordeal, right? So I'm gonna keep shaping these, and then we'll come back. So I've finished forming all the balls, okay? And this is 6, 9, 12. 19 balls. It's really 18. I made 2 tester balls for my kids because they like to test everything. And they might not have a full one. So I'm actually going to throw these in the freezer uncovered about 10 minutes just so like they can firm up in their shape. And then you put these in the refrigerator and then you snack on them whenever. She didn't say whenever, like you shouldn't have one every 5 minutes, but you know, if it's in the afternoon, you feel like you need a snack or a treat, these taste like a treat. So you want to grab one of these, right? Like you want to substitute the things that the candy bars or the unhealthier things. So there's different recipes, but I will link the cinnamon raisin cookie one that I was supposed to do. Even though I kind of went AWOL and just kind of did my own thing. So yeah. All right. So they've been freezing or in the freezer, and I'm just going to cover them up and throw them in the microwave. They are good to go. Do you want one? You want one now? So, just a disclaimer, I did put raisins in it. Just a couple. Chocolate chips. Do you taste it? Okay, so these are done. Again, it's a quick grab and go. Now I'm going to try a different recipe. It is a yogurt bark. And again, I'm going to post the recipe down below. Yogurt bark. Some Greek yogurt. Apparently, you just flatten it out. You can mix in some sweetener, which I'm probably going to do that before I spread it out. And then you top it with like fresh fruit, chocolate chips. And it's just supposed to be like just a pick and go snack. Again, to satisfy some sweet tooth. This is not a lot, so I'm not going to put a lot. Ooh. But I guess you can also use it like as a breakfast or alternative. So I'm going to try that because sometimes I don't eat breakfast right away. And that is something that I need to work on. So I'm going to add some ground cinnamon to this. And I'm not adding a lot. All right, just mix right here. So the gist of this is you dump this, you thin it out, and then you put whatever toppings you want, and then you freeze it. And it's like a frozen treat, I guess. Sure. It's something that you just grab and hopefully satisfies your sweet tooth so that you're not grabbing other things. So let's see. It says you're supposed to chop everything small. You want to thin this as much as possible, but not too thin because you want to be able to break it once it freezes. So I'm just gonna do, and I'm using wax paper for easier cleanup. Right, although this can be a little tricky if it's like whatever. If it keeps getting caught and folding over, but I think this is good. I don't want to do it too thin. Like, I guess I've seen this. This is like the idea of like white chocolate bark, right? Like I've seen it for like during the holidays and stuff, and you can do like peppermint and all these different flavors. So I guess it's the kind of idea, except you can do this with fresh fruit. So I'm really excited for this, and hopefully this is something that works for me, because sometimes I try things and it's not my thing. And then I'm like, oh, back to the drawing board. And then some things I try and they're awesome. So I'm hoping this works out. So a little hack, put your fruit in glass jars. So I came searching into my social media trying to find out how you can keep your strawberries from getting moldy, because I swear it would, after 2 to 3 days, I would go to use them and they would be moldy, and then you end up wasting so much fruit and money that way. So I've been putting them in jars for like, this is my second week, and they've been keeping. So try that. But I'm also doing it for all the fruit. So I'm just really saving my pasta sauce jars and reusing them this way. Okay, and they're not washed. I used to get it wrapped in my head that I needed to wash them, dry them, and then put them away, which was a lot of work, right? So I could never get on that, right? My executive dysfunction was really, really affecting me being productive. So this is just a little tip if anyone wants to jump on that. So I'm gonna grab some fruit, chop it up, make sure it's all washed and clean, and then I'll be back. Guys, I did forget to come back. So I took the washed up and cut up fruit. I used blueberries and strawberries, and I just put it right over the spread out Greek yogurt, and then I threw it in the freezer for it to freeze dry. And then I took it out, and I want to say I left it in the freezer for about 2 hours. And look at how firm these are. I just broke them up into pieces and I put them into a glass container. Hey guys, so this is the end to our video. I feel this was a very productive day. We have the yogurt bark right here. They are pretty solid. They were in the freezer for about 2 hours. I'm going to throw them back in the freezer just so that they can remain solid. And I can't wait to try those out. We have the egg muffin cups, and I will put the recipes to all of these down in the description box if you want to make them. Please let me know if you do make them and if you like any of them. We have the overnight oats. These have been sitting in the fridge already for about 2 to 3 hours. It's 5:30 right now. I kind of took a break. My phone died. I ran out of space, all of that ordeal, but they're pretty thick already, okay? So it does not, it's pretty quick, you know, it sucks up the milk pretty quickly. So that is that. And last but not least, the protein balls. And these are huge, huge in our home. So as a disclaimer, I would like to share that I am not like a doctor, nutritionist, or anything like that. These are just things that have worked for me, and I'm sharing with everybody else. So recipes will be in the description box. Please remember to like this video. It really does help our channel grow. Also subscribe for any future videos. If there is anything that I talked about today that you would like for me to kind of hone in on or like talk into more detail, let me know in the comment section. I won't know unless you let me know. So hopefully I can share more stuff with you guys in the future. But talk to you guys soon in our next video. Bye.